Good evening. Sandy Hom, West 230, South 3827 Milky Way Road. I have more than 3 minutes to share tonight with the town board, so I'm taking advantage of these 3 minutes during the Plan Commission for some of my comments, and I thank the Plan Commission for indulging and enduring me. First, I want to comment on recent remarks by resident Karen Hansen relating her concern regarding alcohol at Five Diamonds or any youth facility and the example you as leaders and we as citizens present to our youth. I want the board to know that Ms. Hansen was unknown to me until most recently when she independently became concerned of this issue. We have since corresponded on several occasions, and while I now count her as a friend, it was not until you undid the Five Diamonds plan of operation that she and I even knew each other existed. You need to understand that her concern is her own, and I believe her opposition even further demonstrates that I do not stand alone in such opposition. In fact, quite the contrary. There are many in opposition, and you should think long and hard before allowing such a debacle. Second, I want to ask you to review the verb tense in a town agenda items 7C, D, and E. Each item has the same faulty language. The treasurer has reviewed the accounts. I'm suggesting that adding an ED onto the verb review to make it past tense would be more appropriate and make it read correctly. Some might think this is a small item, but it certainly screams out to me to be addressed. We should and can expect better from our educators, our clerk, and ourselves. Lastly, I want to share my thoughts regarding the town board agenda item 6G, a request for a streetlight at the corner of Highway I or Lonsdale and Mill Creek on the south side of Lonsdale, west of Milky Way Road and east of Big Bend Road. I drove that stretch of road last night and I can find no reason for a light there. This is not an intersection of two county trunks or a state highway. In my opinion, the corner is adequately marked with multiple reflectors on the trees. Further, there's no street light at the corner of Lonsdale and Milky Way and no light at the corner of Lonsdale and Daisy Lane going into Paul and Kathy Klein's place. I certainly would discourage voting to put a light there unless you have driven it well after dark, seen it for yourself, and then deem it necessary. I just don't get it. Unless there have been fatal crashes there or something, I don't understand the need for a street light there or the added expense for that matter, and it is a bad precedent to set. Thank you for your time. I'd like my remarks to be part of the permanent record.
Thank you. Anybody else? Then we can move on. Number 5, discussion and possible action on an accessory building for Paul Skolovich. Location is West 234, South 6120 Big Bend Road. I think you all have the staff report from Planner Ray Barczyk in front of you. He recommended approval with several conditions. It meets the aggregate total floor area. Location and height are acceptable. The exterior appearance of the detached garage will be compatible with the principal structure. There shall be a deed restriction recorded with the property, limiting the detached garage to residential or agricultural purposes only. Number 5, the petitioner shall obtain the appropriate permits from the town. And number 6, shall reimburse the town of Waukesha for all costs and expenses incurred by the town in connection with the review and approval of his application, including but not limited to the cost of professional services incurred by the town for review and preparation of required documents, attendance at meetings, or other related professional services. Mr. Skolovich is in the audience if we have questions for him. Mr. Luco?
He's replacing a building that he tore down, and it's just replacing it with a new building. I think the motion will be approved with comments from the town.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.